Bismillah, alhamdulillah, as-salatu was-salam ala rasulillahi amma ba'd. FollowingTheSunnah.com presents: a husband prohibits his wife from wearing beautiful clothing. Shaykh Allaama al-Faqihi Muhammad bin Salih al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah ta'ala was asked, this letter mentions my wife wears beautiful clothing, which beautifies her when she wants to visit someone, or when someone wants to visit us, even though I prohibited her from that, but of no benefit. So what is the ruling regarding this? The Shaykh answered, there's no problem for a woman to adorn and beautify herself for those equivalent of women, as long as there are no fear of fitna, trials and tribulations. It is not allowed for you to prohibit her from this matter. This is because this is a natural matter for women. In fact, even for men. Indeed, a man loves to appear beautiful in his clothing, and likewise does a woman. With regard to fearing fitna due to wearing beautiful clothing, for example, there may be men around her who will see her, or that some women may describe her clothing to their husbands, meaning that a woman might describe how this woman is dressed to her husband, meaning describe her to her husband, and this is also prohibited. For example, she says to her husband, such and such woman was wearing this or that clothing. She describes that woman to her husband as if he can see her. If, however, there is no issue in this which is prohibited, then you do not have the right to prevent her from beautifying herself, as is the custom of what her friends do. The questioner also asks, what is the ruling on when I order my wife and she says, Inshallah I will do so, but she does not do it? The Shaykh answered, it is obligatory upon her to carry out what you ordered her with, as long as there is no harm to her, or disobedience to Allah and His Messenger. Indeed, the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if I had ordered anyone to make sajda, prostrate to anyone, I would have ordered the wife to prostrate to her husband due to his great right upon her. However, this obedience is with the condition which I mentioned earlier, that as long as there is no harm to her or disobedience to Allah and His Messenger. Therefore, if there is disobedience to Allah and His Messenger, then it is not permissible for her to agree with you, and it is also not allowed for you to command her with disobedience to Allah and His Messenger. And also, if there is any harm upon her, then it is not permissible. This is because it is not from living with your wife with goodness. Taken from the Shaykh's website. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد.